Hey guys, and welcome back to my channel. Okay, so today we are going to be doing another makeup tutorial. This is just a random makeup tutorial, nothing special about it. Okay. So first you're gonna do brows, and you're gonna see some different products in this tutorial today, just because every week, so I didn't do any tutorials last week after changing it, so every week I'm going to change my what I'm going to use until I start using stuff up. Once I start using stuff up, it'll stay the same and stuff like that. Okay, so I got my big mirror, and I'm going into the e.l.f. Bite Size Palette and I Love You a Latte. And again, my e.l.f. Eyebrow Duo Brush. Going to take the ×3 magnification. I'm going to take my spoolie and brush my hairs pretty much all the same way. Then I'm going to go into the third shade. And that's the color that we're going to use today. We're going to use this very sparingly, because I do have thick brows and stuff. I have thick, fluffy brows. They're not arched the way I want them, but they are nice and fluffy. Like I said, once we start using stuff up, like that e.l.f. concealer, the matte version, only has like 1 or 2 uses left. So I think this one's going to be pretty solid. And that Maybelline has a lot more left than the e.l.f., but it's not that far behind. So then I'm going to spoolie through my brows again, and my spoolie is getting dirty. I am going to be using quite a few dirty brushes today, just because I have not had the time to clean my brushes. So once I get the time, I'll clean them and we'll have brand new brushes, or brand new looking brushes. Just not had the time or energy. So I kind of need to talk to you guys really quickly. So I've decided I'm not gonna, I'm gonna give some updates on my pregnancy, but I'm not going to do all the stuff that I wanted. for now. Eventually, I will. But for now, I decided that it should stick on only makeup tutorials. And I should only focus on that because it's pretty much the main focus. So yeah, all my videos about pregnancy is deleted. But I'll give you some updates here and there. So yeah. Alright, so now I'm going to go into the e.l.f. Brow Lift and the Brow Lift Applicator. I'm going to go in with about that much. So I found out my brows are taking it fine for the first few hours. After the 2 hours are up, it's not that my brows fall or anything. It's just like it's no longer glued to my face. And I'm also feathering it up. Doing that. Trying to see if I can just stick them to my face another way. Get that soap laminated brow look that I do not go for most days. But lately I have been. Just because I do like the look. I need to get a bath anyways, so why not? So about the same amount on the other brow. One I call my stubborn brow. Because it likes. This one's the one that tends to not stay glued down after the 2 hours more than my right brow. But they're both bad about it, but one is worse than the other. And I wonder if it's just because of that laminated look. And I wonder, it's only happened a couple times, and I wonder if it's because I had skincare on before. Doing it, so I should, what I do on the days that I do makeup tutorials, I should just, alright. So this next part, we're going to be going into the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. Which after this, it's gone because another thing I'm going to do this year is, now that I have more time to plan it, it's like a horror Halloween thing. So I'm pretty much each week. It's good. I'm going to be doing a new horror movie character. And doing a makeup tutorial to kind of look like that horror character. So far I'm redoing Tiffany, and I might be redoing Pennywise too. Those are the only two that I've actually, like, these are the ones that I'm doing. Like, I was thinking about sorry. I was thinking about just like pulling names out of a hat, and that's and making a list of who I'm doing on my computer. So we're gonna let that get tacky. While we're letting that get tacky, I'm gonna prepare for my next product, which I'm just gonna put my makeup products away as I go, so they're out of the way. Alright. So now we're going to go into the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So this, I'm going to use the Putty Primer Applicator. I'm going to skip about that much. Go right there, maybe a little bit more. Just like a tiny bit more. Just to make sure it reaches. I mean, I'll be spreading it around too. So it'll definitely reach. So then I'm going to take my middle finger. While I'm spreading it, I'm also tapping it into my skin. So now I'm going to use the brush part of the applicator. And we're going to really blend that in to the face. And I'm hoping that I do not have any more peach fuzz on my face. Sorry about that much. This is another product that's like almost gone, so it's like this is all making life so much easier because then I can put brushes away I don't need. You know what I mean? Like I can, after this, start putting brushes away I don't need. Then it's a whole lot easier for me to do my makeup. And I will show you the makeup I have left. And now I'm not going to use any rose water. to help blend anything out. It's all going to be dry. Okay. So now we're going to go into foundation, which is the CoverGirl True Blend Hydrating Foundation in the shade Buff Beige, and the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush. Oops. To blend that all in. And I'm just using the front of my mirror. So the 1x magnification. Like a times 1. Whatever you want to call it. And now it doesn't look so heavy. Now that I have all that peach fuzz and stuff off my face, now it doesn't look so heavy as I'm putting it on. Because, like, the way it was before, I took all the peach fuzz off my face, is, like, instantly, it looked so heavy and so cakey that it looked so bad. But now, it looks so smooth and everything. Instantly covering up my redness, which was another problem I had. It would not cover up my redness like it's supposed to. So now going down my neck. Okay. Even going down my neck, it's so seamless, so polished. It literally reminds me of like a makeup artist. It looks like a makeup artist did it. That's what I love. About doing this. Things might look good. So I forgot one important step before doing foundation, and that's my eye concealer, my upper eye concealer. So really quickly, since I'm gonna add another pretty much layer to this one, I'll do that really quick. Okay. So the eye concealer that I'm using for my upper eyes is the e.l.f. 16-Hour Camo Concealer in the shade Fair Warm, which, like I said, is pretty much going to be done after this tutorial. It's gone. It's not worth trying to get a few more uses out of it. I can barely Like, I have to go in. Like, the last time I used it off camera, I had to go in and put more on just to finish one eye. And I never had to do that before. So it shows me that it's pretty much done with. It's gone. So pretty much because I'm doing this for a Halloween thing, I'm um trying to save as much stuff from this to carry on. Then I'm gonna use a little bit of setting powder while I'm at it, which is the e.l.f. Halo Glow setting powder in the shade Medium. And this is literally not the last setting powder I have. So I have one more in my makeup drawer. But you know what I mean. Like, this is the only one I have right now. I guess it is. It's that luminosity in the powder that gets me every time. I'm like, it's not sticking. Yes, it is, sweetheart. It's just so hard to see. Now I'm going to take my Real Techniques setting brush. Pretty much just lightly dust any excess powder. So now the other eye. And like I said, this is going into my makeup box as soon as this tutorial is over. I'm so glad because it's getting so hard to work with. So it's almost gone. Well, at the point that it was starting to get hard to work with, it was almost gone. Now it is literally gone. Which is nice because now so this is gone now. Done with. So now I'm just using this powder puff that I used to use with the Maybelline powder. That's what I'm using for this powder today. So now we're going to go into my Real Techniques sponge just really quickly. Can't really say really quickly, but you know what I mean. Like, should have. Then leaving our ears blank. So now we're going to go in with more of the same foundation. Pretty much dry. Just close the powder up until you need it. Add another layer now that we can pretty much build this foundation up. May not get too cakey. Which, by the way, guys, I'm starting to like this more heavy, not really heavy, but this more look of, oh, look at me, I got 20 pounds of makeup on. Does not mean that I'm putting 20 pounds of makeup on. I'm just starting to really embrace the fact that a lot of girls love that, oh, I have 20 pounds of makeup on. Look at me. Because a lot of those girls that you can tell they have 20 pounds of makeup on don't really blend their makeup out. But I do. I do blend my makeup out. So today you're going to see me do things a little differently. I'm not going to really contour my whole face. I think that's another reason why my makeup gets so cakey. So you'll see what I do in a minute. What I'm doing in a minute. It's like blended. Better, so now we're going back into the Real Techniques spine. Really blending it out. Make sure it doesn't look like I have so many pounds of makeup on. Make sure it don't look like you can't see where my makeup starts and ends. All blend it out. Alright, so now I'm going to take my e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I'm still going to contour my... I kind of explained that wrong. On the Putty Bronzer brush. Kind of explained that wrong. I am going to contour my face, but you'll see what I do first. First, I'm going to apply the bronzer on my chin, like I normally do. But I'm going to blend it down a little bit. Blend it in with that foundation. I'm kind of giving that Then wherever I put my contour, I'm gonna put a little bit of bronzer first. Yes, you might be wondering, well, isn't that just gonna make it cakier? But with this putty formula, it actually don't, because I've done this before. It actually don't make it cakier. So again, wherever putting that contour of bronze first. Because this putty bronzer is so blendable, it doesn't mess with it. It just keeps less of a shadow there. So there's not going to be as big of a shadow there as there normally is. So now we're going to go into the e.l.f. Halo Glow Contour Wand, and anywhere I put bronzer, we're going to put contour. So, right here. This is not too. Right here. Right here. Right here. Shit. Too much. Right there. Then just like and then on the sides of my nose as well. So I'm gonna see something. Yeah, it's pretty much almost gone. The wand is. So, and I'm not carving my brows out tonight or today. It's just pretty much what I'm doing now. So that little. Okay. So now I'm going into my e.l.f. contouring brush. I'm going to lightly I know you're probably wondering, like, why haven't you done concealer yet? Hold on. It's coming. So now we're going to take the Real Technique sponge. And we're going to blend it out. Blend out everything I just did. And now we're going to do the first round of setting spray. Which today we're going to be using the Heritage Store Rose Water because my actual setting spray, my e.l.f. one, is in with the Halloween makeup. And I found out that rose water sets your makeup too. So we're gonna really use this and really set our face. Okay, so everything's looking flawless, everything's looking seamless, everything's looking blended, and it doesn't look cakey or anything. So far so good. But the real test is, did not realize I had that camera up like that all the whole time, is my powder. Because yeah, it may not look cakey right now, but the real test is powder. And if the powder looks cakey, that means I still have peach fuzz on my face somewhere and we need to find it and get rid of it. So, now here comes concealer. So, I just wanted to get my contour done first. So we're going to go into the L'Oreal Infallible 24-Hour Full Wear Concealer in the shade Ivory. So this comes on really light. Like if you can see it, it's really light. So it's really brightening. So there's that one. And then we're going to go into the Maybelline Fit Me concealer in the shade Fair, which has a pinky undertone. I don't know if it's just because it's almost done. We're going into the center. The center part of our face. So we're going on the chin, the upper lip, down the nose, and the middle of the forehead. Here. So then, these two in there. Or no. These two are supposed to be right here. That's supposed to be right there next to it. There we go. Okay. So now we're going to take our e.l.f. Camo Concealer Sponge. And we're going to blend that out. And I'm mostly focusing on the center part, but then once that's kind of blended out, I blend it out towards the sides. We'll see what I mean. Mostly the center portion, which this is pretty much the center portion. This has to be. And then middle on the forehead. Like that. And it's mostly concentrated in the center portion where the highlighter will be going. So I love this. So now we're going to flip it to the other side. And we're going to blend out that under eye. Which this is so full coverage. Not even funny. This is so full coverage. So, this also works great as an eyeshadow primer. Which I'll be trying one actually, once all this makeup's used up, because I'll be getting another brand. So now, first we're going to go into the Putty Blush. And we're just going to put a little bit on to our brush, which is the e.l.f. Putty Blush brush. We're just tapping it onto the cheeks today. So then we're going to use this little pink sponge. We're going to go like that and blend it up and down a little bit. Going to leave a gap between the blush and the contour today. For a reason. And we're going to try to get that blush up towards the side of my nose. So now we're going to use our blush topper, which is the e.l.f. Halo Glow Blush Beauty Wand in Rose You Slay. We're just going to put one dot. Let me see. Because sometimes air gets in this. Guess that's not as empty as I thought it was. But it's fine. So now we're going to again use this pink sponge, blend it down. Now this is where the contour and the blush is going to blend together a little bit. And the reason I like using the Putty Blush and this blush together is so then the wand doesn't look as sparkly, so then you can use highlighter. Now I'm going into the e.l.f. Halo Glow wand set in liquid gold. So we're going to go right there. And this is where we're going to use the other side of that sponge, and we're going to blend it. The other side, blend that. Then we're going to go here. Again, just the center. Blend it down towards the chin. Then there. Blend it up. I sometimes will blend it to the side, but today I want it just in the right here and in the center part of my face and underneath my eyebrows. Now on the bridge of my nose. You're gonna see me do different looks and different styles a lot. In the next coming weeks, because I'm just trying to see what looks I like and what looks I don't like. Because, like, I'll try it, and if I see it on me, because I may see it on the person, and I go, oh, that looks really good. But then I see it on myself and I'm like, that looks terrible. And I could be using different techniques as that person, and it might make it look good too. And this way you can go over. So now I'm gonna take this like angled brush here. I'm gonna squeeze some up. I'm gonna put it on my brush. Put the cap on. I'm going to emphasize that brow arch with some highlighter. I thought that I had used more of that blush one than I realized. So now that I know that, that's gonna change some things. Now here is where we're going to do our second round of setting spray. Now that blush, concealer, blush, and highlighter is on, we're going to do the second round of setting spray, which is the rose water again. Make sure everything is not tacky. I feel some tackiness in some places. Like some of this dries really fast and some of this you gotta like take your time on doing your makeup so it actually dries so you don't set anything that's tacky. So, and then we'll do our last round of setting spray at the end to complete the look. And then we'll be done. So now I'm going to take this large brush. I'm going to take more of that Halo Glow setting powder. Which I wish there was a way to like just take this top part out and just so I'm not dumping it. Well, it looks like there is, but I'm not gonna mess with it today. That's just to keep me from having to keep banging it, but I guess I'm gonna have to. It's just not working. So I'm doing a light set all over my face to kind of set everything, all that. Just make sure that the setting spray really works. of course, you know it, we're going to bake. Which it looks like. It's gonna take a minute. So we're gonna use the powder puff we used earlier. I'm going to take 3 fingers. I'm gonna swirl it into that powder. Really swirl it, swirl it. Going to take our pretty much press it in to bake it. And then sorry if that's getting annoying. It's the only way you can get powder. If you see, I'm like also kind of like spreading it around my face. So I use less powder, but it looks like it's not gonna work. Also, when I get to the highlighter, I'm also gonna set my under eyes. I'm not doing that yet because I'm kind of in a rhythm. Over here. Much so we can pop this off. It has to be. And I don't have that much powder in this one anyways. I'm just gonna just sorry, I'm just helping myself at the moment. Just this powder puff does not work but well to bake it on your skin. So we're gonna get the powder puff that does work. Just my Real Techniques one. And we're gonna bake that way. I literally don't have much of this powder left. Like, I literally could probably use it up in this video. But hey, it's alright. That's what this whole time has been about. Using some of my old products up. Not all of them. Not some of them, all of them. All of them. Only a little bit at a time comes out. It makes me mad. Like, I'm not gonna get anywhere with that. I'm not gonna get anywhere. So, it looks like it was a good thing that I did the light set before doing the baking. So that if it keeps it up the way it's going, I'm gonna say screw baking. I just want to go to the next thing. But what's nice That glow's already coming back through. So really quickly, while I'm waiting for this powder to kind of work with me, I'm gonna really quickly set my under eyes. By the way this is going, the face doesn't look that cakey. It's the under eyes, so it's like powder that's stuck. For some reason only a little bit comes out. I'm only gonna do a little bit of baking, like that much. And off camera, what I'm doing on my forehead, and off camera I'm gonna see if there's a way to get that off. So, with this experience, it's making me not want to try this powder again. And buy the one that works. So now, powder is done to the best that I can do. So now, I'm going to let that set for 5 minutes. And while we let this set, so I can what is it called? So I can speed things up. So 7:03, 7:04. We'll brush this off. But in the meantime, we're gonna do our eyeshadow and our eyeliner. So I'm going into my e.l.f. Precision Liquid Eyeliner. Alright, I'm definitely getting better at eyeliner, so that's good. And I'm kind of cramping. Sorry. So now I'm going to use this fluffy blending brush. And I don't know where my other blending brush went. I just found it. Found it. Okay. So now we're going to take this fluffy blending brush. We're going to take the first shade in the palette. We're going to kind of use this as a starter transition. And I'm going to use ×3 magnification. It does show up a little bit. Okay. So now, to add a little more depth, I'm going to go into the cool tone brown, which is the third shade of the palette, and we're going to use this blending brush. And what I did, hold on. I'll show you again in a minute. I started in the middle, went that way, and then started going back and forth to build that shade. It's because this part of my eye on this eye been really messing up. And I'm gonna do it on the same way on the other side. Don't understand it. Alright. So now we're gonna take my e.l.f. blending eye brush to blend those two shades together. So now I'm going to take my angle crease brush from Equal Tools. I'm going to go into the second shade in the palette. And I'm going to use that to define it more. And then again, fluffy eye blending brush. Not fluffy, but just eye blending brush from e.l.f. Like for any fallout. Looks good. No. Now really quickly I'm going to check what time it is. And do something and then we'll see. So it is 7:04, time to take this off. So I'm going to lightly, lightly dust it over here, dust it, and then dust it, just really quickly dust it off. And it looks like I still have some hair on my face in some places. So I'll take care of that after this tutorial. Because I could see it through the powder and the powder is getting cakey. So, sorry, I forgot to put my ring on. Alright, so now we're going to finish the eye look. Going back into that palette, I'm going to use this brush, laptop brush. I'm going to go into the second shade. Try to get as much color as I can. I'm going to pack it on. Really pack it on. Just really pack it on. Sometimes to pack it on, you need to leave a little fallout. Don't worry if it doesn't come across the darkening it up. Now I'm going to take my Real Techniques setting brush and wipe away all that fallout that just fell out. Going back into that second shade. Actually, that looks good. A little orangey, but it looks fine. So, eyes are done as far as eyeshadow and eyeliner. Still need mascara, which we're going to use the e.l.f. Lash and Roll mascara in the shade Deep Brown. Only, or actually no, let's do the top and the bottom. Does wonders on my lashes because I have pretty long lashes. This is the type of mascara I need. For every day. So Now we're going to bronze the chin up with the e.l.f. Primer Infused Bronzer in Forever Sun Kiss. This is a matte bronzer, unlike. And I'm gonna look up some challenges, makeup challenges I can do for this too. Maybe do them soon. Now we're going into the e.l.f. Primer Infused Matte Blush and Always Cheeky. Just lightly put it on. And maybe a little across the nose. Just lightly. Okay. So I might as well. Now we're going to go into the e.l.f. O-Face Satin Lipstick in the shade Dirty Talk. Which is a pretty pinky nude. And then last but not least, the setting spray. Which it seems to be doing better than regular setting spray for me. Actually, everything's not too bad. Okay. This is really good as a setting spray too. So, this is the final look. Alright, so I hope you liked this video. If you did, don't forget to give it a big thumbs up. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And I'll see you next time. Bye!